Right.
I know, let's hide the feets.
I know. I'm like, oh,
Yes,
creepy.
freaks. I love that you actually read the comments, though.
Oh, yes. I actually live for it.
Yeah, I know, right?
I love it.
It's like 1 a.m. and then you're like,
Yeah.
I'm going to see what the fuck these fuckers are saying.
Let's do this. Ready?
Yes.
Paige Ivette,
Yep.
welcome to Jits and Giggles.
So excited.
Guys, notice Paige is wearing the same Third Eye Blind shirt that I own, so we're already best friends.
Yeah.
Let's start from the very beginning. We'll start with something simple. So tell me about how you got into jiu-jitsu. So I know that you were a big athlete before, right? Like you played, did you play polo?
Yeah, water polo.
That's really freaking cool.
Yeah, did you?
No, my school did not offer things like that.
Because it
That's
was out
amazing.
here, right? And it's cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think San Diego is known for their water sports.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to a middle school that was in Coronado. They're known. That's where like the Olympic team trains.
Okay,
and,
that makes more sense,
And
yeah.
Junior Olympics as well. But I don't know. I just got into it in high school. And from there, I kind of learned like how to be a little more aggressive. And even growing up, I played softball, soccer, and I was already a little more aggressive than
Right.
normal. Like trying to slide tackle when I'm playing soccer or sliding into home base, trying to cleat the girls. Like I
Right.
had this like mentality of like, "Grr." So, but yeah, water polo definitely was something that I fell in love with. And then after that, I had no source of sport. Like I was looking for something that would kind of fill that gap. And I was doing, I did powerlifting for a little bit, but the coach at the time was like having me pay $400 a month.
Oh my God.
And because he was like stretching me before and then after, and like, yes, it was very valuable information, but I was paying that money and I had no idea of what I was paying for. I
Yeah.
was just doing the thing that was told.
Right.
So I called my dad. He's actually a 5th degree black belt and he owns his own school.
Crazy.
Yeah, in Tennessee. And I didn't grow up with him. My parents remarried when I was younger, but he was the one that kind of led me to 10th Planet San Diego. And from there, I was like, I initially wanted to do MMA. And I was like, I'm a big girl, like Ronda Rousey, like I could kick her ass, you know, but not that I had no idea that everything in MMA is all about technique. Right. So I just thought I was the big, strong girl. I've been in a few street fights. I'm good.
Scrappy.
Yeah. Right. And, but I was sadly mistaken. I was being thrown around by Liz Carmouche because she was
Oh.
training there.
Okay.
And, yeah, I was like having a terrible time in MMA practice and I was loving jiu-jitsu. So like I broke my hand 6 months later, Sloan climber. He was like one of my friends at the time. He was telling me like, dude, you're having so much fun in jiu-jitsu, but you hate MMA or like boxing or shoot boxing. Why don't you just focus on one skill? And he's like, typically a lot of the MMA fighters, they have one skill that they're good at and then
Yeah.
they kind of grow from there. And so that was it. I was like, all right, I'm going to listen to you.
And if you guys don't know, that's
Yeah.
your now husband.
Yes, my hubby. Yeah.
But at the time, you guys weren't even dating. This was just...
No, so for 8 months of me training and like getting to know him, I started in October of 2016. I was unsure about him and
Yeah.
I didn't want to mix within the community.
I get that.
And so he was just my friend and I kind of kept it more platonic and I would like kind of like be like, no, I don't like you
Yeah.
like that. Like just really like he would try to kiss me and I was like, whoa, you can't be doing
Probably
that.
made him like you more. He's like,
Yes, dude, they love the chase.
do,
Okay,
yeah.
now if you don't know, ladies, make them chase you. But
Yes.
anyways, so that really roped him in, and he just kept coming back, and I was so mean to him too.
Oh, they also love that.
Yeah, that was like so wild to me too because I was the one that was chasing when I was younger. And so
Right.
this guy was like the one that I was like, I don't even want to, start anything that I'm unsure of.
Yeah.
And so my main focus was just to get better and better my life because I was working in the service industry and I just was hating like people were asking me for ketchup and I was like, it was like
Yeah.
a part of the job, but I was just like getting so frustrated with
Right.
it.
Yeah, it
And
wasn't your dream.
Lo and behold, I didn't know that the jiu-jitsu was even a possibility of being able to be like an instructor and then, potentially
Yeah.
own my own gym one day. And so that's kind of my sights right now.
Wow. So you started doing jiu-jitsu. You started focusing more on jiu-jitsu, less MMA. At what point were you like, okay, I'm really good at this. Maybe I should like go all in and make this a career. Was there a moment?
Honestly, I knew right away that I was going to make this life change.
Wow.
I quit all of my service jobs, and my mom, so I have a funny backstory. My mom, she's a hustler. So my whole life, she took care of my sister and I until she met my stepfather when I was 9 years old. But my mom worked, and she was a dog groomer. She used to brush. She was a show groomer, but she was the brusher and bather. Yeah. And then my grandmother was the groomer. So it was like a family business my grandma learned. And so I had the ability to train jiu-jitsu full time and then kind of pop in and help my mom. So my mom owned the dog grooming shop since I was 10 years old. And, so while I started jiu-jitsu, I couldn't pay for the membership. Mm-hmm. And they were like, okay, well, we can get you on cleaning duties. Mm-hmm. So I started cleaning Monday through Friday from 2 to 4. And they were like, wow, you're doing such a great job. I was literally like doing Mr. Miyagi. Like I had to clean 3 bathrooms and I was like wax on, wax off. And then I had to clean 2 mats and then I had to dust. And it was just of how well I did that. The owner was like, dude, this girl is amazing. I've never seen anybody clean like this. So I'm just going to have her clean my houses too. Oh. So then I didn't have to work for my mom. I literally was working for the owner of the gym and then I was cleaning his 2 houses and it was paying me so much money that I was able to just train full time, pay for my apartment in Coronado. I had like a studio apartment. Yeah. But it was like freaking 3 blocks from the beach. And I think that's why Sloan liked me. It was like, this girl lives next to the beach.
Yeah, she's
like,
got her shit together.
Yeah, she's taking care of herself. And it kind of worked itself out.
Wow. What gym was this?
This was 10th Planet San Diego.
10th Planet San Diego.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. So you were hustling. But that's a good testament because, jiu-jitsu can be very expensive and some people can't afford it, but you're kind of showing that if you really want to, you'll figure out a way.
Yeah. And I feel like it's a community, right? So if you really want to do it and you can't afford it, well, you will find a way.
Yes.
So there's some people that they'll just figure it out. Other people will make excuses. Yes. That means that they don't really want to do it.
True.
So I've had women come to me and they're like, I really want to train, but this, and I'm like, well, you can clean the gym. But there's it's a sad story right now. Only men are willing to do that. And women, they're better at cleaning. I'm sorry. They just understand the deep clean. They know oh, there's mold there, where a guy would be like, that looks fine to me. Right? Like, it's completely different. But.
And not only the fact that you could clean or do something, in lieu of your payment, I find from talking to so many owners, most people are willing to work with you. Most people are willing to say, I know of owners that'll say you're going through a hardship, I'll give you a month or 2 free till you get back on your feet. If you just communicate, most people are generous actually.
Yeah, they really are. And I feel like it just takes a special kind of person though.
Yes.
I feel like some people that I was talking about this with a few of the girls yesterday, jiu-jitsu is really good for the very emotional person. Someone that needs to learn and understand how to regulate those emotions. Yeah. It's perfect for.
Yeah.
Right. And so I was definitely that person.
Yeah, for sure. So you started competing. You decided that this was going to be your career. What was step 1? Did you have a first goal that you wanted to accomplish?
I thought I was going to fight MMA. So 5 weeks in, there was this in-house blue belt tournament at 10th Planet San Diego. I'm literally 5 weeks in. I have no idea up from down in jiu-jitsu. Yeah. And I tell my coach at the time, Richie Martinez, Boogeyman, I go, hey, I really want to do this tournament. And he was like, no, you're not ready. It's a blue belt, white belt tournament. You've only been training for 2 months practically.
Right.
And I said, well, I want to do MMA, so I got to get ready. And jiu-jitsu, it's not punching, so I'm fine.
Yeah.
And he was like, don't do it. And I said, well, I'm going to do it. And so then he was so mad at me because I walk into the gym. I'm not listening to my coach.
Yeah.
And, first round, I get Kendall Ryusing. And I was like, dude, what are the chances? This is our tournament, and you give me this girl. And he was like, bro, it was random. I put it in an app, and you just happen to get her. So, yes, obviously, I pull her into my guard. She passes my guard like butter, and then she freaking mounts me and Americanas me. And then right after that, I'm looking around. I feel so like upset because I'm
Yeah.
so emotional. I don't know how to control my emotions. I start crying off to the side. Sloan, I don't even know this guy, comes up to me and is like, hey, just so you know, don't worry about your performance today. You're going to have so many more tournaments and competitions that where you're just going to keep improving. And that's the beauty of it. You're just going to keep getting better. So don't take this loss as like, this is the end of it.
Yes.
And he honestly thought that because of how I acted when I lost, I would not be able to handle jiu-jitsu because that's the beauty of jiu-jitsu. It works. Mm-hmm. You know, you could be the best in the world and sometimes you're just going to get caught.
And there's always another one.
Yes. And people only remember when you win.
It's true.
They don't remember when you lose.
It's very true.
Right? Yeah. So, and it was cool that he had been my coach, you know, from then on. He was always there to like lift me up. And the advice that he gave me, like when I first started, was just get to their neck and squeeze it. And I was like, okay.
You're like, I got that.
Okay. Because I didn't understand anything about the position. So
that's very cool. Mm-hmm. So were you looking at him differently or were you still like, get away from me?
I was just like, I was like, okay, this guy, like, he's being nice. Well, it was really nice. That was really sweet. That he came up to me and everybody else was like, why is this girl crying? Yeah. But, you know, I had things I needed to work on.
Yeah. Right? And it is an emotional sport because it's like, unlike, I mean, you've played so many sports, unlike a team event where you share the win or you share the loss, it's like, you can only blame yourself 100% of the time. It's easy to get emotional because you're like, damn, I sucked today.
And I had that shame. Yeah. I was wearing that shame because my coach was like, I don't think you're ready. Like, you don't even know mount, side control. Like, you have no idea. And you're doing a blue belt tournament. Right. So I just, you know, I think that was a learning lesson for me. And like, now that I'm a black belt, I kind of understand that I was representing their name. Of course. You know, but.
And even from a safety standpoint, he was probably looking out for you in that sense too.
Yeah, and I was like, "No, I'm ready." Like I was just crazy back in the day.
What did he say to you, Boogie, afterwards? Was he like, "Told you so," or was he like, comforting?
No, he was just like, he just literally shrugged his shoulders. And to this day, like I still don't know if it was an app, but everyone knew Kendall was gonna win. Yes, and I was like, "What are the chances?" Yes, I get this girl. Right, but there were so many other girls, and I can't just like point the finger. I was like. Lolo MMA was in it too. Mm-hmm. And she was doing MMA at the time. A great boxer, came up from when she was a little kid. And I was like, maybe I'll get her. But I think that kind of gave Boogeyman like this weird, like, you know, he's seen a lot of girls come into the gym and he probably was like, oh, another one of these girls that just wants to get to know dudes and hang out. But I was like serious
about say, it turns out.
Yeah. Getting good. Yeah. And I knew that I could do it.
Right.
Just because of all this success that I've had in my other, you know, sports careers. So.
Yeah, you were just chomping at the bit a little bit. That's okay.
But I did have, like, when I first started, I had not a drinking problem, but I liked to party. Mm-hmm. So I would go to music festivals and that's how I would get my energy out. Right. And so I was like, this is just not conducive to my life. Like, if I keep going down this path of like hanging out with the wrong crowd, and it's not like they're wrong, but it's just like, I didn't have a life that would support that life. Yes. Right. So I needed to kind of build a foundation to get there. Yeah. And then come to find out, like, you can't do jujitsu and drink. Yes. Like, I mean, you can, but like, it's not healthy.
Yeah. And also I would say most likely not at the highest level, which is where you were aiming to be, you know? And also, how old were you at this point?
I was 23 and turning 24.
Big difference then versus now, right? Like, I know myself, I'm 34 and, you know, I'm training with all different ages and there are 18, 19, 20 something year olds that are going to college, high school parties, and they can do that. Like, I can't do that.
I
cannot do that.
I know.
Yeah. One of them
feels sick. Yeah.
One of them is competing at a higher level. And I said to her recently, like, I don't understand how you like wake up and show up at the gym. And she's like, oh, it's just discipline. And I was like, I'm sure that's partly true, but like also like my body physically can't do that. Like, no matter how disciplined I am, my body can't like refresh itself.
And maybe it's because of like what we did when we were younger during that time, right? When we were younger, we were living up the life and maybe we could have done that. But I just found like I was waking up for 6 a.m. class and I couldn't go out and drink until 1 a.m. and then go to 6 a.m.
Right.
So I was like, I have to sacrifice.
Yeah.
And so then I slowly kind of grew and built a better me through jujitsu. And I think that's when people say like, oh, it saved my life, right?
Yeah. No, it's true. Honestly, I think this all the time. It's almost hard to not have a healthy-ish lifestyle if you're all into jujitsu. Because like you said, like a healthy lifestyle is like what's conducive with it. So it's like all your friends tend to eat and live a healthier life. Like you have to eat and live a healthier life in order to do jujitsu. So it's like, it doesn't even have to be intentional. It just kind of happens if you want to get better, you know?
So true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you lost this match. Obviously, at some point you bounced back. So what kind of happened after that? You just kind of went super hard for your next match?
Yeah, Sloan was like, you just need to keep competing.
Yeah.
And you need to build like you need to like callous your mind.
Right,
like this doesn't matter when you lose. So, okay. The next tournament I had was at Gracie Nationals when Gracie used to throw these tournaments, and Eddie Bravo was there. I was a white belt, and I was doing well. I won my first 2 matches, I think. And then my third match, I was in the finals, and this girl freaking armbarred me. And her coach, which was Mercedes, what is her name? She is the owner of Mercedes Burchek.
Oh, yeah. But I don't know who.
Her husband, Tony Burchek or something, like they're in Arizona.
Okay. I don't think I'm familiar, actually.
Yeah. Well, anyways, it's her student that I'm going up against. I get armbarred, and then she just screams so loud and is like, yeah, like a blood curdling scream, like, yes.
Yeah.
And I was just like I froze, and I just was like, okay. And then I walk outside and I just start fucking like screaming. Sorry, excuse my language.
No,
I just start screaming, and Sloan is looking at me like, I don't know if this girl can handle losing.
Right.
Like she is just acting wild. And he was like, Paige, people are going to start thinking that I'm like hurting you. Like you got to,
right.
like I'm doing something to you. You have to calm down.
Yeah.
And at the time, like I had like I would like kind of get so mad at myself when things would happen. Like when I would strike out in softball, I'd like hit myself. Or like if I didn't do well in water polo, like I had a problem with that. So I know it's kind of deep, but it's just like
hard on yourself.
This was the reality of it, right? So then when I started dating Sloan, he was like, oh yeah, like I've hit myself too. And then when I started training with Andres, like he was like, yeah, I used to punch myself in the face, but you only look crazy. Like people see that and then they're like, okay, this guy's kind of, so it's like 5 years. I know this is a little deep, but
no, it's okay.
He was like, you get 5 minutes to be upset. And then after that, you look mentally ill. And so I had to start to understand like, oh, this isn't like helpful in any way. And like actually going to jiu-jitsu, it's just I started to understand like, it's okay to fail. Yeah. You actually want to fail.
Yeah.
And that's where you start to learn because you want to be better. So then you take those failures, you start to look into them. What did I do to fail? And then you build off of that, and then you test yourself again against that person or in that same situation, and then you actually win. Right. So
that makes sense. What helped you kind of switch that mindset? Was it time, just maturity over you getting a little bit older? Like what allowed you to view things differently in a healthier way?
Yeah. So when I was training at 10th Planet, I still had that like, that negativity. Like I would just like, I would do those things. But I was like crying one day and I was like scratching my face with me and my mom were fighting. And I don't have the best home life when it comes to like family, like, with my mom, we don't have the best relationship. So, I went to jiu-jitsu and I was like, I had to leave working with her. And so I went to jiu-jitsu and my coach, Richie, just looked at me and he like had these wide eyes and he was like, just train. Like he didn't want to know what I was going through. He was like, just get on the mat because I know it's healthy. It will make you feel better. And so I felt like I was like welcomed, like no matter how I looked and how I showed up, like people were going to accept me, but people were going to start caring about me. And then they didn't want me to do those things. So yeah. And I think like me talking about this is like, so important because I thought that I was the only person.
Yes.
Right. And then after finding out like, oh yeah, there's other people that like have some issues. And so I was like, oh wow. And like that just made me feel like, okay, maybe this isn't helpful. Right. Maybe this isn't good for me to do. And so then when I started training more, I wouldn't be upset. I would just say like, okay, jiu-jitsu works.
Right.
Like this is okay. Like I think, yeah, it became my parent.
Yeah. No, it's very important to talk about. And I mean, people say jujitsu saved my life or jujitsu is my therapy. And I'm curious on your opinion. I feel like there's two sides to it. Like, yes, it can be therapy in the sense that you're describing it. Community can literally save your life. Having people that care about you, and having an outlet to express your emotions or to get frustration out. Do you feel like it was enough? Do you feel like you needed actual therapy, or do you feel like from your experience, like it was enough to pull you out of that dark spot?
So I had both.
Okay.
And which was beautiful.
Yes.
Because I found that I had a very negative self-talk.
Yeah.
And like, that's one thing that would like, when I would strike out, I'd be like, oh my God, I suck so bad. Like, why am I even here? Like, I'm the fifth batter. Why do they even want me here? Like, it was just so self-defeating constantly. And when I came to jiu-jitsu, my coach, I was like crying one day, and I was just like, dude, I suck so bad. Like, I don't know why I keep sucking. And he was like, well, if you keep telling yourself that, you're going to suck. And I think that right then and there, he's like, stop telling yourself you suck.
Yeah.
Like, tell yourself you're the best in the world. So then it became like, okay, I am the best in the world. Then when I would go and I saw my friend therapist. So she worked with my mom. She was like she would bring my dogs to my mom, but she was a amazing woman. She owns her own practice, and her daughter ended up passing away, which was really hard on her because she had a drug addiction. But she just grew. She helped me understand like myself. So if I'm waking up and I instantly have anxiety, she was like, you need to wake up and write 5 things down that you're grateful for. And so when I started jiu-jitsu, I started seeing her, and then, I was waking up at 5 a.m. to get to 6 a.m., but I was meditating, and then I was journaling, and I was reading, the Tao, or the Bible. Like, I was reading many spiritual books just because I was like, there's got to be something more to life, right?
Yeah.
And that just changed my thought process of like, the beauty of life instead of being so self-deprecating. Like, I just really was like, I didn't understand, I kind of had to like parent myself and like be there for myself. And so,
You did the work.
Yeah, I did
You really did the work.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of people, myself included, look at you and other women in the sport, and we look at you and we're like, you're so confident and successful and athletic, and we see all these amazing things, but we don't see the behind the scenes work that you put in to get here. And I think that's so important. Like, I'm so grateful you're talking about it, because a lot of younger girls, I'm sure, look up to you. And I think sometimes we start thinking, oh, well, I'm just not like them. But the truth is, you didn't put the work in yet to get to where you're at. You weren't always this woman. You used to be a little girl, right? So thank you for talking about it. I think it could actually really help somebody, even save somebody's life.
Yeah. I think I've always had the soft spot for someone that sits alone at like lunch. Yeah. And because I was like, oh, that's me inside, right? Yeah. But I just didn't have the tools. I didn't understand. Right. Like, I'm just thinking, oh yeah, no one loves me. I'm like all alone. Like, but jiu-jitsu and winning and, finding a safe space for me to be aggressive was like so important for me, because I had so much. My mom would say when I was a little kid, like, I would have these explosive, outbreaks when I was little, and like CPS was called because we lived in an apartment, but I would just like bang my head and be crazy, and I just my dad wasn't there to be like, hey, stop that, and scare the crap out of me. So my mom was just like, I don't know what to do, and she said I always needed to be active. Like, I always needed something. I needed that sensory overload, really. I just needed to do so many things. And jiu-jitsu is that. Yes. You're doing so much at once. Like, you're trying to escape, but then you're trying to not get choked. And like, it's like one after the other until the timer ends. And then you get to rest.
It's true. And it's like, it's really hard to think about anything negative going on in your life in that moment when you're literally trying to defend yourself from being choked out, right?
Yeah. Everyone says like life disappears when you do jiu-jitsu.
And a lot of us got into the sport because of that reason, because we had either mental health issues or anxiety issues. Even myself, like, the whole reason I started was because I was going through a really bad time in my personal life. And I was like, every time I show up, I'm not sad, because I physically and mentally can't be sad because I'm worried about this person, choking me out.
Well, think about it. Like, we don't touch each other. in everyday world,
Yeah.
right? Like back in the day, men used to kiss women's hands, right? In the 50s or 20s. I don't fucking know. They
Yeah.
just be like,
Yeah.
here, how your beautiful wife, mwah, you know? Now it's like, oh, if they look at my wife sideways, you know, but now we don't touch. And I think that, you know, in order to survive as an infant, like they've done a study, like I don't remember when it was, but I don't remember if it was like during World War II or something. One, I don't know. There were these babies and they were literally just fed and then they were left in their cribs and like almost all of them died. So without that physical touch, you will die.
Yeah.
So then when you think about it as an adult, how does that change? Well, from your significant other, you can get the touch, but then I don't know if it's something of like an energy exchange when we touch each other, like the atoms or like the energy just like makes you feel better, or I don't know.
Oh, that's a good point. And not everybody has a spouse or a significant other too.
Yes.
So there's that factor as well.
Yeah. And it's, people are like, oh, I'm not athletic for that. And it's like, well, you don't have to be.
Yeah.
Like I know so many people that are not athletic that are good at jiu-jitsu that literally beat
Absolutely.
me up.
Yeah,
You
no,
know?
it's true. And you can, it's funny. It's like all different ages, all different walks of life. Like it's one of the only sports I've been a part of where you can learn to get good at it at like a pretty decent pace. You know, like I feel like if you start softball at 30, like it's gonna be really hard to
Oh
like
my
get
God.
anywhere near any other athletes.
Girl, I even got picked up for college to play softball, and my sister's husband asked me to play rec like a few years back, and I'm like, sure, I could play slow pitch, right? The tossing.
Yeah.
I struck out 2 times at bat.
That is crazy.
I
coming
was
from
like,
you.
bro, I'm gonna handle this. I'm gonna freaking launch
Yeah.
this. Watch. No, I struck out because I just was like, I'm gonna whack this thing, and it was like, bink. Like I literally swung, and then it fell. I was like, okay. But
That's
softball's
freaking
hard.
hilarious. No, it is. I played softball in high school, and I wasn't even good. Like I was just average. But like just thinking about it, I'm like, I can't imagine if I had zero. Like I think of my sisters. Like I'm like the athletic one, which is sad to say in my family, and they never played sports. If I was like, guys, come play like softball with me right now with no experience, like they would probably get like bruised, hit in the face. Like they would have no idea what they're doing. Similar to
Scary,
jujitsu.
yeah.
But I think if they were to play softball every day for a year versus jujitsu, I don't think they'd be that much better compared to jujitsu. I just feel like jujitsu you can start as an adult and can get better, but I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe someone will comment and be like, you're an idiot. But I just think most sports you have to start at a much younger age to get like pretty decent at it.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Definitely the ones with balls. Like literally, I'm like, anything with a ball, I'm like, I don't know, you know, everyone's starting at like 2.
No, you're right. And back real quick to the whole like therapy thing, because I have had people on, and most everybody agrees with your sentiment, but I've had conversations where a lot of people think like jiu-jitsu is the only therapy you need, and I'm not. Listen, something's better than nothing. Like if you can't afford an actual therapist, like I would rather somebody have a community, and I would rather you come. But I do think it's important to note what you already said, which is having both is like the ultimate combo. Like that's what you want, is
But then
mind and body.
But then sometimes it can get a little like too deep, right? Like then they start judging your life, and it's like, that's not what you need.
Right.
You need yourself to start understanding how to rewire your brain. And how is that?
Yeah.
Like a flower just grows.
Yeah.
And how does it grow? It's in silence. And how do you shut off the brain? Because we're a human.
Yeah.
We're the smartest mammal there is. We need to shut off our brain.
Right.
So it was 5 minutes right when I woke up, set my timer. And then it turned into 20, and then it turned into 30, and then it turned into like, I'm freaking in this like, oh, but you have to build yourself up.
Right.
And yes, even though I was meditating for 20 minutes, I would still think of things.
Yeah.
And then I would go into the abyss. Right.
Right.
But it was like, I didn't know what I was doing. And it was like, meditate for 5 minutes. Everyone has 5 minutes.
Yeah.
We need that. Like I said, the trees are just growing out there. They're growing, right? It's like, you have to grow too. And if you're kind of if you're waking up and getting right on your phone, that's too much.
Yeah. Are you still doing that now?
No, it's kind of like, I go back and forth.
Okay.
But right now I'm kind of on a different spiritual journey of like, I know I'm starting to read my Bible, and God is like something that's like it makes me feel good. You know, Jesus is like such a supreme person. But he was just like the ultimate healer. And I don't know, he just has like done something with me, and I'm still trying to figure that out because I don't know about religion but when I talk to people, they always reference, like, they always say, oh my God.
Right.
Or, you know, they always, it comes up.
Yeah.
And even if they don't believe, it's just like something that's intriguing to me. But I do believe, like, I love to meditate. So sometimes when I have time, I use mala beads. And it's not that I just feel like, yeah, one of my friends was like, you know, your stones, you shouldn't idolize your stones, because he's very into church and stuff, and I just don't like all these regulations. And like, I don't like to put that stress on it, right?
Yeah, do what's best for you.
Yeah, I just don't know. And so I'm trying to build knowledge right now, just because I am spiritual, but I feel like it's, like I said, like a calming. That's what I need more of, is just a calm.
Yeah. And I don't think there's a right or wrong answer to your point. I think, like, if you're doing something that helps you feel healed and calm, then you're doing the right thing, you know?
Yeah.
And it's not going to be the same for everybody.
Yeah. And when you, in regards to what you ask, like, what do you do now? It's like, well, I kind of wake up in the morning, I make my coffee, I'll read the Daily Stoic, I still read my Bible, I'll meditate if I'm feeling kind of over. Like, if I have, sometimes I'll wake up and I'm like, I have to clean so much things.
Right.
Okay, no, I need to go meditate.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm like kind of over, I'm starting too fast. Yeah. But what it really comes down to is just finding that time for yourself, like the non-sleep deep rest, doing things that make you feel good. So I listen to Andrew Huberman, and he talks about, like, whenever you're having frustration or you're feeling anxious, you have to tell yourself, like, you choose to live this life and you love it. And so then you're just going to be like, okay, everything's fine. Yeah. It's like a calming of the nervous system. But I've also started doing breath work. So there's this girl called on Instagram, Zen the F Out. And she talks about that. Like, she's just like, that's how you're going to calm your nervous system, is just like by doing like some sort of box breathing. And
that's helped.
Yes, especially when right before I compete too.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I was going to say, does Sloan have a similar way?
Yeah, so he is like very adamant about it. Before he wasn't. So while I was at 10th Planet San Diego, it was like clockwork for me. I was like saging myself, like meditating, and, you know, had my candles on. He's like, you know, wiping the air. But now it's come to the point, like, he reads his Daily Stoic every day. He writes every day. But it's because he's like obsessed with the guy from Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. What's his name?
I don't know.
Oh, man.
I'm so bad at names.
It's okay. He's Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Thompson, or... Anyways, he's this well-known writer. But he... I can't believe I can't remember right now because he's obsessed. But... I'm thinking Sloan might want to be a writer one day, or like, cool. You know, do something with that, because now he's completely into the stoicism and just, that's like, cool. Who knows? He has a best friend that's like into Jesus too, and like makes him pray. And Sloan has like, he's like me. He's like, doesn't know. Yeah. He just likes, like, he thinks prayer is like manifesting. Because you're praying like, oh, I pray for my friend to get better. I ask for the spirit of discernment. I ask for the right words to say. And, you know, that's something. But when you talk about religion and the people that are in religion and the things that they do, and then you find out, it's just like, you're just like, whoa. Yeah. And then I think there's like different levels. It's like doing it on your own versus organized religion, right? Yeah. Like totally different in my opinion. Absolutely. So. It's like... and people always say, don't talk religion. So I try not to. I try to keep it out of it, but it's so hard for me. Yeah. Sometimes. And I think, my opinion, I was just talking to my sister about this last night, because she's very religious. And I would say I'm like, I have faith, but I'm not very religious. And so I was saying, like, I just feel like as long as you're not pushing it on anyone else, do whatever you want to do. Like, it's really no one's business. And you could talk about it openly. Yeah. Doesn't mean you're like telling somebody else to do what you do. Because like I said before, it's going to be something different that works for everybody, you know? Yeah, like when I meditate, I literally, not meditate, when I work out, I'll literally listen to this woman who like speaks in tongues, and she's like from like Africa, and she's like, and I'm like, ooh, like I'm like getting my workout. I'm like, I don't even know what she's saying, but it just feels good.
It works for you.
Yeah.
Do you do yoga?
No, I don't.
Okay.
But I do. So my friend, she is I Am Mighty Light on Instagram, and she does like this like slow movement. And I just did this like not podcast, it was a vlog with Mil Usos, my sponsor. I love them.
Yeah.
But we did a vlog where she was running me through floor work, and then we did like a pole thing. And before, I was so turned off to it. I was like, I don't want people to see me dance and move sexy. But then I went in there after training, my back was hurting. And then after the floor work, I'm all like, she said, put cream cheese on the bagel. And I was like, okay. And I'm like doing that. My low back was not hurting.
Oh.
I felt so good. I was so happy.
Cool.
Like, and so I think there's something to be said about the yin and the yang of jujitsu. You need to be like fast and aggressive and explosive.
Yes.
But if you're doing that yoga, thing, or that slow movement, I think you need to practice
You do,
that. You
for
need
sure.
some sort of mobility, and so
100%. I need to do it more. Of course, I always end up going to yoga when I'm injured. I'm like, I need, like you said, I'm like, I need this, and I always feel better. But I need to do it regularly because, like you said, I feel like it works together so well.
And you don't need hot yoga. People think like, oh, I have to do it hot, and it's like, well, if you're training jujitsu, this one guy, he's an expert in yoga, Jason Crandall. He was doing yoga for jujitsu, or not yoga for jujitsu. I don't know. He's some well-known guy. He's very fit. You can look him up on Instagram. But he was saying if you're doing jujitsu, because of how hot you get, you shouldn't go to hot yoga. You should do yoga in a like regular room temperature setting, because that's what you're practicing jujitsu in.
Smart.
So you don't want to spike your nervous system.
Okay.
So I mean, if you're injured and you can't train, then yes, go to hot yoga.
Yeah.
But if you're doing jujitsu and then going to hot yoga, you're probably going to be like dead.
No, that's interesting because I've only done hot yoga because that's just the place I go to. That's all they offer. But I never thought of it that way. That like, it could be detrimental if you think about it from like a nervous system standpoint. Interesting. You were saying before about like your mindset and how you've like gotten to where you're at now, and you mentioned your mindset with like losing or after some competitions. How do you handle your losses now versus then? Like, is there anything you do that's like really been helpful?
So, ADCC trials, West Coast, I got second place, and I went against Amy Campo, who did like some Art of War on me, right? She like, I came out to this like, chill vibe and music, and I felt like a superstar. I was like, and then she comes out to this death metal. And it just like shook the building. And then they knew that I was going to shoot for a double. I grabbed a single leg on her. She jumped to a scissor leg takedown, landed cleanly into a knee bar. I didn't know to grab the neck, right? It's always a learning curve when you compete. But she picked up my hand when she won. She was like, dude, I wouldn't have done this without her. And I'm like, dude, what? Then it reframed my brain. I was like, and at that time I hadn't lost in a long time. I was constantly going to competitions and just whooping. And so then I started to think of like, she needed me to get here. And then now I think, well, to have this big match, you need me too. Like, I'm not just some random, like I'm a good, like for me to be a worthy candidate, I need to be someone that knows jujitsu or has at least good jujitsu, right? So, and it's either me or them. And that's the beauty of jujitsu. It works, and it's whoever messes up first. Or whoever strategizes better. That's all it is. That's what when you get to that higher level, now we're just like, who can juke the other person out? And so that's the kind of the way I think of it. And now when I lose, I'm just like, I want more girls to train. I don't want to be the girl upset and crying. And, I want to be the girl that like lifts the other girl up.
That's a really good way of putting it. Like, basically you're saying like, it's not a significant win for them if I'm not a significant person. Right?
Like, and no one's going to know.
That's a really good way of looking at it.
And, after I had one girl I fought at the Gi World in 2022 before I was injured. And there was this girl that, it was this crazy match. She like landed in an armbar, like got this pass, but then landed in an armbar on me. And she looked at her like team, and she was like, ah. And then all the Brazilians were like dude, don't act like that. Paige is so nice. Like, you need to apologize. She messaged me and she was like, I'm so sorry. If you watch the video, I that's totally out of my character. This was the first Worlds I ever won. But it was like, they know that I just love the sport and I just love the person that I'm fighting. I want them to win. And it was so cool to see like that someone who was celebrating like so crazily, they were like, dude, don't do that. They had my back.
They had your back.
So it was just like,
that's a win
I always want to
itself.
be a good person. I always want to be the loving person because I would never have had that match without them. So no matter what happens, I want to win, but I also want them to win and I want the sport to grow. Yeah. And I think guys have great matches like the Ruotolo brothers and the Tackett brothers. Oh my gosh, their matches.
Incredible.
I love watching them. But then Helena, I love watching her. I love watching Sarah Galvao. I love watching myself. Like when I was injured, I'd be like, I'm just going to put my matches on, because at the time, like sometimes matches can be boring. And I think the more movement you create and the more movement you like the push and the pull in water polo, it's like jiu-jitsu. You got to push into them so that they give you a little pull. And like, it's like, that's kind of my game.
I love it. Perfect segue too. Let's talk about women's jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
So you've been around for a while and you've seen this like evolution, I would say, of women's jiu-jitsu. In your opinion, what is the biggest positive change you've seen currently compared to when you started early on for women's jiu-jitsu?
Wow. I honestly thought that when I was changing from MMA to jiu-jitsu, I thought that women were going to make like at ADCC, the championship, I thought you were going to make 40 grand. Wow. I literally was like, oh, pay me off my debt, put some money away, throw it in the
I bet that was a surprise.
I was blown away at the $5,000. Yeah. And I was like, I love watching the girls more than the guys. Sloan was telling me when I first started, oh, you need to look up the Gracies. You need to look up these people, the Machados. Like, you need to understand like the lineage. And I was like, no, I want to watch the girls. Yeah. And so there's something to be said about like, back in the day, women, not samurai, women, what is it? The
Vikings?
Not Vikings, close. The ones in the Roman.
Oh my God, we're so bad at this today.
Me too. Maybe I didn't have enough coffee, but please.
People are going to be listening, like screaming
they're gonna be like, they're fucking idiots. Okay. Oh God. Spartans.
Okay.
The women Spartans were looked at and they were like mocked. They were laughed at.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, look at these fucking idiots out here. They can't do what men do. Right? They just watched it and were like, who's going to kill this girl? Right. But now that jiu-jitsu's evolving, like definitely the younger generation, starting at such a young age and understanding leg locks and like creating that movement and just being really... I just think women are growing and getting better in the sport. And I think that is why it is evolving. Like back in the day, I don't know. I would watch some of the older matches and girls were just literally slapping each other, like walking back and forth like dudes, right? But then now the bigger girls are actually doing jiu-jitsu and they're like inverting and trying to, go for submissions.
For sure.
They want to be an exciting fighter because they know that that's what gets matches. So that's why I think it is. They want to be exciting and that's what I want. I mean, maybe I'm being biased, but I don't want to go out and have a boring match.
I was going to say, do you feel, this is a conversation I've had often with athletes recently, do you feel like it's more important for your match to be exciting than for you to win?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like my match against Rafaela, I didn't make the most money. I thought I was going to make way more than what I did. But I felt like I won. People were like, oh my God, you did so good. Like that match was awesome. And I felt like I just had a great showing and that's what got me more opportunity. Right. And even when I won, and I heel hooked Kwani, I don't know, it took me a while to get to the heel hook. It probably wasn't the best. I didn't have the best technique for it either. Like it wasn't right away. But I think to grow the sport of jiu-jitsu, you need to kind of show the jiu-jitsu, and that's like the flow rolling, right? Like how many positions can you get to within the round? Yeah. And so that's what I kind of want to do with my comps.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's like, of course we want to win, but it's like we want to win in an exciting way that like gets people talking about it.
Well, why do people like football?
Yeah.
Right? Oh, because it's like, oh, it's 28-27.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
The kicker missed the, you know, like, oh my God.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
if it's a blowout, it's like,
yes. And so that's why they want those exciting matches. And sometimes like that's why gi wasn't watched, because it's not as like flippy and everyone's winning at black belt level based off of an advantage or a disadvantage.
So. No, that makes perfect sense. Yeah. So back to women's jiu-jitsu. So obviously we've had some, you know, arguments on social media, this, that, and the other. In your opinion, what's the best way we can continue to grow women's jiu-jitsu?
I think having more organizations that like focus on women's jiu-jitsu and like promoting it, because people love to watch women, like, and women are beautiful, but then if they're like badass or if they're a black belt, like, and they have great jiu-jitsu, like I think it'll grow the sport more. I think when we have these fight promotions and it's like men and women, that's great, but I feel like, man, maybe we should start doing a little more for the women community.
Who should be doing that? Do you feel like it should be women putting up these promotions for women?
I don't know. I was thinking like for these seminars that we're throwing, like having like in-house tournaments, you know, cool. Maybe starting there, but then maybe even having like, maybe for ADCC, I wish it was a 16-man bracket or woman bracket, and it's not, which is unfortunate, but I know it's Abu Dhabi and that's how they want to do things. They just like put limitations on women. And I think that we shouldn't, because, you know, women have their value in the world too. Like,
I've had a lot of people say on the podcast or off the podcast, women too have said it, that they don't feel women support women enough. That one of the reasons the men have gotten to where they have gotten and we haven't gotten there yet is because the men support each other way more than we do. Have you felt that way?
Like, I can't even tell you, like, it's so weird to me because I never want people to feel like I don't like them. But when I compete against people, I'm always smiling. Someone says like, you're so weird because you're like, hey, oh my God, like I'm literally I'm going to roll with all these girls. Like, I'm so excited. And there's girls that I've seen that are literally mad dogging me. And I can name some and I'm just like, don't want to blow their spot up. Yeah. But it's like, you act one way on social media and then we get in person and you just are like, like that doesn't help make people feel good. Yeah. And that's probably why like men don't like women training on the mat, because one, they're cliquey, right? Men are they're cool with everybody. Yeah. And they're like, oh, this is this group, right? They don't care. But then once women start getting cliquey, then they start being rude to each other. And it's like, but why? Yeah. You know, I don't understand that. And there's this quote that I love. It's like, for those that love with their eyes, or there's no goodbyes for those that love with their heart and soul, because there's no such thing as separation. So when you love with your heart and soul, like nothing can separate me from you. No matter what you do to me, like I still love and care for you. Even the girl that's being like mad dogging me that I've seen at tournaments, I'm just like, I don't understand. Like, who hurt you? Yeah. What happened to you for you to feel like I don't like you? Or are you scared of me? And then that's like how you cope with your sadness. Right. Or your fear. Yeah. But
where do you think that comes from? Is it like
maybe like trying to make a man feel good? Like maybe they're like insecure around their dude. Okay. Maybe they want to protect their guy. I don't know. It's only one person that does it to me. So it's very weird. It's very strange.
Yeah, it is.
And it's something that it's like, don't you want everybody to win? Right. And if I'm a high level girl, wouldn't you want to follow me? Because I follow you.
Right.
Right.
Now, as a competitor, do you feel like there's a large amount of women that support you and support other women competing?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Absolutely.
Because a lot of people don't think so. They say like, you know, men show up for men at these competitions. They're paying for these events, and they're saying women are not doing the same. And I don't know if we have any stats on that. So I was just curious, like, since you are a competitor, do you feel supported by other women?
Yeah. I mean, I think I've gotten so much support from women, like, and like those are the girls. I didn't realize that, you know, when you start coming up and you start having these big matches, people start looking up to you and like saying like, wow, I love how you are. I love how you're so welcoming. And like, that's the vibe that I want to continue,
of course,
with bringing.
Yeah.
I don't want to be judgmental. Like, I think that's when you have like strong opinions, and women have strong opinions. That's when like things get kind of funky.
Yes.
But men can have strong opinions, right? But women, if they have strong opinions, well, now they are they're crazy.
Yeah.
Like
Or you're
just,
a bitch.
yeah. Or you're just like, something's loose,
Yeah.
like something. Yeah. Right. So, and that's even for myself right now, like me judging that girl for her not liking me. It's like, well, I want to walk up to her and say like, hey, like, why can't we be friends? Like, maybe we can train together. Like, I like what you're doing, right? With your social media and how you work. And we even have the same sponsor. Like, why not? But it's like me letting go of my ego and just like kind of being a little more open to it.
Yeah.
So,
it's hard.
you know, and I do think that women should support each other more, but I think it kind of takes, I don't know. I feel like men should be okay with supporting women too. Like, no, we know you don't want us like that.
Yeah.
Right. It's just, men think that women belong in the kitchen. I know someone that said that, and I'm just like,
I've read the comments and they're infuriating. And it's like, I understand. I mean, we could talk about this all night, but it's like, I understand to an extent, right? Obviously, it is a male dominated sport right now. Like, of course, like if there's men who are in a larger bracket, I'm not saying that we deserve to be paid the exact same as them in that bracket. If I only have, hypothetically, if I'm only matched up against 3 women and they have to go against 6 men, obviously in that scenario, they should be paid more. But I think looking at the bigger picture, I think we do need to pay women better, maybe not equal, but better, to get better opportunities for better athletes to get eyes on them.
but why wouldn't we pay equal?
Well, I'm saying only in the situation where it's like not equal. Like for
Yeah.
CJI, like I understand that for those teams, the men technically had 2 days of competitions with more men. The women had 2 days with less women. I could see why it was 100,000 versus not 100,000. But where I didn't understand was the bonus. I felt like the bonus should have been equal because
Oh, for sure. And I think pay should be equal. I think they should have a male's like the same size on each side.
right. Like if it was the same, yeah,
It literally should be, but
Yeah.
they say it's a 10-1, but like, why not reframe it and be like, oh, well, there's enough women. And like, maybe if men were like, oh, if they just start acting like there's more women that train or more women that fight, or they just give us more opportunity, then maybe more women would train and fight.
right.
And then maybe we wouldn't have that 10-1 ratio.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
believe the argument, I don't know if I'm misquoting, but I believe the argument was that they couldn't get enough women at that level. Do you feel like there would have been plenty of women if they had offered it?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Maybe you
make
would've been
more
one of them.
space for it.
Yeah.
You know, make more space. I know I belong
Yeah.
at ADCC. This is how it is.
Are we running close on time?
No, you guys are good. She's coming down, and then you guys have 15 minutes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect.
Okay.
But yeah, so, and I know this argument's probably been beaten like a dead horse, but I did disagree. Like I feel, but see, I'm not a high level competitor, but from an outside looking in, I have so many friends. I mean, Amanda Levy, like I could think of so many women that I assumed would have taken the opportunity, but from the comments and from what I've heard, they're like not at that elite level. So it's interesting hearing from somebody who is at that level and you're like, no, that's not true.
Maybe not in the weight bracket, but like I've literally fought smaller girls that have whooped me.
Right.
Okay,
Still would have been exciting.
Like it would have been such an exciting match, right? And Mikey Musumeci, how did he get big?
Right.
Oh, because he fought that massive dude
Right.
in the gi finals or whatever, and like
Right.
he won off an advantage.
And in the actual CJI like regular tournaments with the teams, there were plenty of size mismatches,
and
right?
people love that.
Yeah.
Like, why not do that with women? But women are like, oh, I don't want to get hurt, and they're not my size. And even on the mat today, I have not my girls, but upper like competitors that are at a lower weight. They won't roll with anyone that's lower than 155 or higher than 155. I've heard that, and I'm just like, okay, well, that's fine.
Yeah. But
So
they're
then
like,
you're limiting,
I was going to say they're limiting
but you want
opportunities.
the same opportunity,
Right.
right? Like,
Yeah. No, I agree with you. All right, we'll pause there so I can grab her. Hi. You guys know I like to explain things. So we were literally at the Airbnb recording with Paige before they went over to the women's camp at 10th Planet. And Laura, who runs the camp, was so sweet and allowed us to record, even though they had to be there to coach. So Mo Black jumped on because she was at the Airbnb and I would love a full episode with her, but she had to go coach. I think she was up first or second. And so, or teach, I guess I should say. And so she jumped on, did a little segment, and then she had to leave. And then Paige and I finished up, and then we drove over to finish out the women's camp, or so she could finish out the women's camp. And poor Kat Deshani's sitting there like a mime with her hands saying like, guys, we have to go. And we just couldn't stop yapping at the topic that you're going to hear at the end here. Such a good topic. And, you know, I'm going to have Mo back on. She's just so awesome. All right, quick little segment. So now we're here with Paige Ivette, and Mo Black joined us. Very excited. All right, we don't have a ton of time, so we're gonna play a little game. It's called Scrap or Tap. So I'm gonna give you two options, and whichever one you like, that's the scrap. And whichever one you hate, that's the tap, right? Like you're tapping out.
Yeah. Okay.
Make sense?
Scrapping or tapping?
Scrapping or tapping.
Ooh,
Okay.
Got it.
It's pretty painless. Okay, so scrap or tap. So which one?
I never tap. I'm
Rolling with someone who never showers.
Ooh.
Or rolling with someone who never clips their nails. Which one would you rather scrap? Which one would you rather tap?
never clips their nails.
Which
Yeah,
one's
it's
that for
gotta
you?
be-
That's the...
That's
I would
the
scrap
scrapping.
that.
I'm moving this up to your mouth.
Oh,
thank you.
scrap
Sorry.
that.
Me just
You're
way down
both
here.
you're both scrapping.
with the
nails?
talons,
nails.
like
Yeah.
Okay, so
And
you
I
would
would
rather roll with the nails and the shower. Like,
Yeah.
You're disgusted.
Listen, I rolled with someone that only uses water, and I was like,
What do you mean? They only use
they only wash their body with water.
They told you this?
Yeah, I don't want to drop the name,
No, it's
but
okay.
everybody knows this dude.
Oh.
And I was like, bro, I don't know if this is healthy.
No,
And
it's
now he
definitely
uses
not.
soap. Now he uses soap.
Oh, that's
That's good.
But it just has evolved, and I was like, I cannot believe the smell coming off your head.
That's
you can go
disgusting.
a little too natural. If you go
Yeah,
a
that's
little
a
too
little bit
natural,
too
it's like,
much.
all
He was like,
right.
you just need water.
A little
This
soap,
is a
fine.
lie.
Yeah. Yeah. That's frightening. Okay. I've rolled with really smelly people, but I believe they used soap. I don't know if that makes it better or worse. Okay. Scrap or tap. You can only train in the gi forever. I already know your answer. Or you can only train in no gi forever.
Yeah.
No gi.
Yeah,
no
no
gi is
gi.
scrapping. We're
We're
scrapping.
scrapping.
Yeah.
But you know what? I really do like the gi, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
You just don't compete in it much.
I don't. I
Yeah.
competed for like 9 years in the gi, like up to brown belt, and then there's so many opportunities for no gi.
That's
and
what
so
we were
it's-
talking about.
Yeah.
It comes down
Yeah.
to that,
Mhm.
right? Like
Yeah.
it's not. I'm putting words in your mouth, but is that what it is? It's mostly just opportunity versus what you like
I think
and dislike.
so. Yeah. Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. Okay. Scrap or tap. A 10-minute round with a 200-pound white belt man, or 5 minutes with the toughest female you've ever fought or scrapped with, I guess.
I would scrap that.
Oh yeah,
I
you want that scrap.
Yeah?
You
Okay,
want
that was the
scrap.
easy one?
Yeah.
I wanna
Get
Okay.
better, yo. I want to kind of write it up.
Nobody's going
See
for
what
the
we're
white
doing.
belt?
Drawing board? No. We actually do that all the time, actually.
Yeah.
No.
Do what?
Do you roll with 200-pound white belts?
Yeah. I mean, a decent amount. I try not to
I
grab
feel like
people on their
250
first
might
day.
be a little, yeah.
Yeah, 250 is like pushing it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. Strength and conditioning every single day. That's all you do. Or endless drilling every single day.
Ooh, I love strength and conditioning.
Yeah, me
Okay.
too.
So
You guys are so similar.
Yeah, I know.
funny.
We've been figuring this
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, it's
you
been
guys are
great.
like twinsies. Okay, so endless or strength and conditioning. Okay.
Mm-hmm,
All right. Okay, this is a good one. Would you rather? Oh, sorry. Scrap or tap? Competing sick or competing with a slight injury?
I think we all compete with a slight injury.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
and I feel like sickness, like what kind of sickness?
Yeah,
like, can
well,
I
let's talk
can
about
I
it.
breathe? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Or am I
Like,
gonna
are
throw
we
up?
puking?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we like worried
Yeah.
about puking on our opponent? Because that's like scary.
okay, let's say you have like,
just-
let's say you're like, let's say you're
Let
like
it go.
nauseous, lethargic.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather that or rather with like a sprained ankle?
I think I go sprained ankle.
Yeah.
Sprained ankle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I'm
guys are just
scrapping.
tough. That's why.
We're just scrapping.
Like this isn't the norm. You
Yeah.
guys are just tough.
Just scrap all of them. I'm kidding.
Scrap all of it.
I feel like these are too easy. Okay. fly to Worlds and find out your bracket has one person.
All your life right
That's
now.
that's me in
Or-
Europe.
That is
I'm going to
yeah.
Euros. Yeah,
for one match.
it's okay.
Or fly and realize that you forgot your rash guard and shorts.
Oh.
Rash guard and shorts. I'd rather pay than not like. I'd
Find
rather pay
something
for my
else.
Find some
outfit
gear out
than
there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Then only have one match. Yeah.
Dude,
Like,
one of
that's-
my
that's a
friends
good
just
answer.
flew to London for IBJJF, and her opponent missed weight, and so she had no match.
That was
she
it?
flew all the way there
Oh,
for nothing.
no.
She had no matches.
And cut weight too. That's
And
where
cut
I'm
weight.
at. Yeah.
And at that point, I'd be like, just let her. It's
Yeah,
okay.
fine. Yeah.
Like, let her. They were like, no. So she literally flew to London from New Jersey
No
and then just
matches.
flew back home.
I had
Does that help?
one time
I'm not
where
doing
it
this
wasn't
again.
as far,
Yeah.
but I went to Charlotte for the IBJJF Open, and there were like 4 women throughout the brackets, no one in my weight class, but
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, surely like these girls are in there because they're gonna at the very least get their points, but probably do the open weight, right?
Yeah.
Every single one of them no showed. So I had
Shut up.
I flew out there
For
no
nothing.
matches.
They were like,
so
Mo Black.
so it happened.
yeah, I was a
Goodness.
baby black belt at the time, so I needed points to compete at Nogi Worlds. So it like worked out
Yeah.
fine, but I was like,
Yeah.
no way.
But still sucks.
All of these women are not
Yeah.
like no showed.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a shame.
I know, it was very sad.
And in
Very
her
sad.
case, the girl missed weight, and it was like a pound, and like I hope I'm not misquoting, but I believe like she wasn't like trying to get the weight off. And my friend was like, please,
You're like,
go
can
for
you
a
try?
jog. Like, go for a fucking jog.
I'll help you. I'll jog with you.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
And apparently the girl was like known for like them just kind of pushing her through. So I guess this time they were being more strict. And I was
Oh,
like, that's
no.
like kind of disrespectful.
That's weird.
Okay. Scrap or tap? Oh, wait, oh, yeah, you both said. All right. Scrap or tap? Your hair keeps coming out of like however your bun is or whatever mid-match, or the person you're going against, their hair's in your face the whole time.
You know, I already am such shit about keeping my hair up. Like I do the cousin it thing half my match anyway. So
You're going with that?
I'm scrapping
Okay.
with my hair down.
How about you?
My hair's too long, and I've done that. I actually, like, Rafaela was choking me, and her thumb was in my mouth when she had a guillotine, and my hair's down.
Yeah.
And I just went like this. I bit her.
Oh.
So I don't know. I have no idea. I've never had someone else's hair in my face,
Huh.
so I don't really know how I'd feel.
Yeah, like with
But
we-
scrapping with my hair down, like getting, oh shit, you're on my hair. Like, I don't know if I want that.
Should I like call Adele and get her?
We already know what she feels. I was dying laughing when that was why she was upset. I was like, oh my God.
No, I was cracking up. I was there and I was just like, what is happening? No, the best part was like, and I it's like no shade. It's just funny. But it's like when they fixed the hair, it was like even worse because it was like right
straight
here.
on top. Yeah.
And like as soon as her mom did it, I was like, that's not gonna help.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
It was
We need like a
cracking me
bun
up.
or braid or
Yeah,
something.
and my sister doesn't train, and she came with me to CGI. And my sister's like, "Oh my God, like how do you breathe when that happens?" I was like, "It's not normal.
Yeah,
Like
you're
that
like,
doesn't
that's-
happen to me."
I know Nadel's like pushing it out of
I
the
know,
way.
she was being so sweet.
Yeah,
I'm
she's
like,
like,
So freaking funny. Okay, that was the end of that part of the game. So thank you for playing Scrap or Tap. But I do have a couple more questions for the two of you. So
right.
you both have competed, I believe, in IBJJF and ADCC. So what is the biggest mental difference between both of those rule sets? And whoever wants to go first. Go ahead, Matt.
You go, yeah.
The biggest mental difference, honestly, I feel like it's more of a obviously like strategic thing. I think the out of bounds is probably the biggest difference because there's so many people who in IBJJF are good at playing out of bounds.
Yeah.
And then not having that as a get out of jail free card, kind of
Right,
like not
right,
saying that's what
yeah.
they're doing, but people play the strategy
They do.
of the rule set, right? And I'm not saying that's wrong or anything like that,
Yeah.
but I would say that's like the biggest difference. But other than that, like mentally and like, yeah, I just feel like, I don't know, like for me, I feel like rule sets are in a lot of ways, it's like very small tweaks. Like my game is not going to
Okay.
change drastically or anything like that.
Which
So.
do you prefer?
ADCC.
I figured. It's gotta be.
yeah, like I love wrestling and like
Yeah.
going for takedowns and stuff. And so the fact that they have like, I love the OT. I think that's great. I think it pushes the action. I like that they continuously push the action, but I actually like IBJJF too. I've competed in it since a like little baby blue belt.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there's pros and cons to every rule set, to be
I
honest.
agree with you.
Yeah.
How about you, Paige?
I think like being on top versus being on bottom. So like with IBJJF, you more so want to be on top.
Yeah.
More they think of like that as like more self-defense style. Like the person on top usually is the one winning, even if bottom is the one going for more or trying to make things happen, as long as top is moving. And then for ADCC, you can be on bottom and be attacking and still win. So I don't know. It's like, I think you would want to be on top, but
Well, and it's interesting
yeah.
too with ADCC because it's almost like you have a sub only for the first half of the match.
Yeah,
right?
that's
Which
true.
to your
That's a
point,
big
like
difference.
as long as you're attacking, no matter where you are, like, you know, send it for the first part of the match because you're not getting scored on no matter what.
True.
Kind of interesting.
Yeah. Paige, which do you prefer? Which rule set?
ADCC.
Yeah. So you both.
Yeah, I like, and I'm just biased because I know ADCC does a little more for the women. I mean, IBJJF does something. I don't know if they pay their athletes, but yeah,
so.
yeah, I don't think, yeah,
Other
Right?
than like the crown and
Yeah.
the Grand Prix and stuff.
Yeah.
yeah.
Interesting. You're like, they do something for the.
But I don't.
We just
They don't do
know.
anything for nogi, right? I don't think.
No, I don't think so. For anybody.
I think you could
Like,
win.
for
Like
men
if,
either.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I
They
don't
used
think
to, I think there was like, I don't know if this is still the case, but if you were ranked top 10, I think the top like 3 or something
Okay.
got some sort of
so. Okay.
compensation. I don't know if that's still the case.
We're like really.
I don't know.
straight.
Yeah,
Like,
we're
maybe.
Yeah, we're like just guessing at
Or
this
like,
point.
watch what you say right now.
I know. I'll edit all that out. It's fine. Okay, so Mo, you've said pressure is a privilege.
Yes.
And Paige, you've said that you feel like you're fighting your younger self sometimes. How has your mindset evolved over the years?
You get to go first. On
Yeah, it's I just want to be the best I can be, right? And with that being said, it's like I'm on a life journey. It's not really a jiu-jitsu journey. It's like I'm here for a little while and I want to make the most of it. And if the way that I can touch people is through jiu-jitsu and my story, then I'm going to keep with that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I agree.
yeah, that's really it.
How about you?
Yeah. Well, I think trying to like think about like pressure being a privilege and also like putting your money where your mouth is a lot harder where you're like, it's great, you know, like it's fine. But yeah, I think truly just trying to embrace that and maybe to Paige's point too, just like being grateful. Like we were talking about this yesterday about the fact that we get to do what we're doing, compete. I mean, even being here and, you know, teaching a women's seminar and like being a part of this women's camp is like amazing. And there's so many people who would love to have that opportunity. And even people who like, whether it's, you know, they're sick or whatever it is, you know, don't have the opportunity to, you know, do what we do. Like just keeping that in mind and making that a part of the whole, like pressure is a privilege, you know, I think is really important.
Yeah, just like being grateful.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
cool. I agree
Exactly.
with you.
Yeah.
Let's end. I know you have to go soon too. I'm putting you on the spot, but do either of you or both of you have any hot takes?
What's hot takes?
Yeah. What is a hot take?
Oh,
Hot
okay.
cakes? I want
Any of you
hot
have any
cakes.
pancakes? It's like
Ooh,
an unpopular opinion.
Oh.
Like something that you feel strongly about that like maybe the masses wouldn't agree with you. Like for example, Jasmine Rocha's hot take was that she doesn't care if people are late, but a lot of people like punish people for being late. Like that was her hot take. Do you have anything similar? Could be anything.
Oh my gosh. I don't know.
Anything you do, you like or hate about jiu-jitsu that maybe other people don't? Kat, you have any?
Shoot, not off the top
Any
of my head.
prompts?
I'm trying to think of something.
We'll probably think about this when we're in the freaking car
Yeah.
on the way.
And we'll be like, ah,
Yeah, you probably
this was it.
Yeah. Nothing? I'm trying to think what other people have said.
I know, I cannot remember.
Or what did AJ say to this?
Like you were talking about ego, like do you have a hot, like ego's a really hot topic?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Ego
I just,
maybe, like works or like I don't know.
well, yeah, my hot take is like, why stop the evolution of jiu-jitsu? If this is something that's helping other sports,
Yeah.
why hate on it,
Yeah.
right? Why not just be open to the new era that we're walking into, and people say it's just like positional sparring. Well, not necessarily, because like ecological is understanding the environment and saying, oh, they're not getting this arm drag properly. They're not knowing how to properly off balance. So now we're going to trail back. Now the top guy can only post instead of like stand, right? Like it's like, I just feel like don't stunt the growth of the community.
Yeah, when that was like a really hot topic, like at its prime, my opinion was like, however you learn best, do that.
That's kind of how I feel.
Because everyone's different. It's like school. It's like some people are visual, some people. So it's like, how could I tell you how you learn best? I don't know. Like, I know how I learn best. So to me, I'm like, it's so funny that people fight over it, because I'm like, there's no right answer in my opinion.
Oh, okay. I have a hot take.
Okay, I'm ready.
Let's go.
Oh my God. Okay. It really comes down to the fact of like, I don't understand how people can get their black belt and not train jiu-jitsu. I don't understand how you can get your black belt and not put in the time and the sweat and not roll with everyone.
Are you like specifically talking about
there's a couple people, but I'm just saying,
Dang.
I don't understand that.
I'm like, who?
I'm like,
Yeah, no, I don't want to get into deets, but
can't-
like,
I
I'm
can't
just
name
being
drop.
honest. Like, how can you physically or mentally think like, oh, I don't really train with these people, but I've been training for 10 years and I teach jujitsu, but I don't train.
got you.
So how can you think that you teach
that's interesting. So
jujitsu?
it's not a time thing. It's not actually like they got their black belt in 3 years and 7 months. But you're like, very
10
specific.
years,
But
yeah.
you're like, you could be doing. Are you saying that they train at all or not at all?
They did train a little bit
In the beginning.
right? And then they kind of train once a week, like
And
an
now they
open mat.
coach.
But then they just coach during the week, and they don't actively train.
That's
To
a good point.
piggyback off of that, I think if you are a coach in jiu-jitsu, you need to be training. You know, like
that's
you
a hot take.
can't just, you can't just
Watch instructionals and go tell people about it.
Right. Yeah. And I think like it's important that like it's like the people that I've always idolized growing up, like whether it be my strength and conditioning coach or good coaches, they're always looking at like how their niche is evolving, right?
Yeah.
And jiu-jitsu is always evolving. So you can't even like rely on like, oh, I've been training for 10 years and now I'm just, I don't train anymore. I only coach. Obviously if there's like injuries or something like that might play a different role. But I think continuing your education, like most employees have to do that to some regard, right?
That's
they have to
true.
get certs or like continuing education. I think jiu-jitsu, like we have to think of it as the same thing.
education.
Yeah.
Can you continue your education without physically doing it? Like, can you watch and continue your education?
It's really hard, I think, to be, and maybe to Paige's point, like how do you get promoted in something when you're not actively doing it? And it's such a hands-on thing that, again, I think if you are physically unable, like injury, terrible injuries are holding you back, that's one thing. But if you are a pretty able-bodied person and you're just like not pursuing those like hard rounds, not pursuing those like people who are going to push you, then ultimately it trickles down to affecting your students, I think.
It does.
Yeah.
It literally affects the students. And like, it's like something that I have such a hard time, because I do like the person, but I'm just like, I don't understand that. Then you're kind of half-assing the sport, and then you're calling yourself a black belt, but then I'm a black belt, and I don't think we're the same thing.
Yeah, and okay, I have a lot. How much time do we have, Kat? None. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this up. But
we're gonna be starting like 5 minutes.
oh,
I'm
God
ready.
damn it.
I'm
This
going to
is
be
such a
sweaty
good-
and
this
like
is such
ready
a
to
good
go.
topic.
We're sweating already. Okay.
Sweating.
When she leaves, we're gonna talk about this longer. I wish she could stay. But to wrap it up, two things. One, to play devil's advocate, when you look at like a football coach that played but no longer plays but is still able to coach, is that different because it's not maybe as physical? Because to me, that's like the devil advocate, where it's like they're still able to coach their team to a victory even if they no longer play at all. So
I see that point. I can totally see that point.
right? But I also see the point where it's like jiu-jitsu is just so physical that in order to learn, sometimes we have to actually like do it.
Here would be like my argument on this. I think like, sure, there's always going to come a point where, a coach is going to be it's kind of to the point of like less able-bodied, right?
Yes.
Like as you get older, like
Yeah.
you're gonna have to slow it down, maybe be a little bit more picky choosy. In football specifically, like you can't play that past. I mean, you see like NFL players, it's like amazing when they're like even into their 30s, right?
Yeah.
If they're like pushing 40s, like an anomaly, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's a little bit different, just like on how it like affects the body and
Yeah,
your
you're right.
longevity in the sport. So I can totally see, like, I see the point of like, yeah, you can totally be a good coach. I mean, we've seen it with people in the community, right? You can be a good coach without training all that much.
Yeah.
But I also think there's a lot of people who it's not that they can't.
Yeah, they just don't want to or
It's
whatever.
yeah, or like maybe even like ego kind of holding them back or, you know, kind of being like, you know, like, I don't know, it just, yeah, you can't put a ceiling on like your evolution because I think as a coach you have a goal to continue to progress your own jiu-jitsu so that you can continue to pass that down, and it can look different for everyone.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
I don't
You
know.
think you're buying into the jiu-jitsu world, like you have to put in your sweat equity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that. We'll end there so that Laura doesn't actually kill me.
yes.
She will literally no.
Promised her. I'm like, I promised Laura also me.
Yeah.
Oopsie. So, sadly, Mo had to leave us because they're literally going to coach or teach at a
know.
women's event, and I just stole her for a little bit. So wrapping up, because you also have to go. So we were talking about the whole black belt thing, and the hot take was like, if you're not currently training, like, do you deserve a black belt? And then off air, I was saying to you, or you actually said to me, like, you know, Danaher is a good example where like he no longer trains, but he's still great. But I think your point was like he trained up to the point of like earning his black belt. Right?
Yeah, he put in the time. Like his body
some
was
point.
wrecked
Yes.
because of how much he trained.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because he was obsessed with it.
Yeah.
But I don't understand how people can say they're obsessed with it and not actually put in the time, right?
Yeah.
That sweat equity is just a huge thing. Like it really makes or breaks you. And if you're not getting tapped on the mat and you're not learning how to submit and you're not learning about your game, like, and you're only rolling with white belts when you do roll, how do you think like you're a black belt?
Yeah. So do you
I
feel
just-
like if you put in that sweat equity up until getting your black belt, do you feel like anything after that is kind of like fair game, or do you feel like you need to continue?
It all depends on like people and their lifestyle.
I
right?
agree.
Like
I
John
agree.
Ern, he's a great coach. Like he physically can't train.
Yeah.
Right. And there's some people that can't, they put in all that time of training and now they're building some of the best in the world.
Yes.
Like there's a reason why, because they put in that
Yeah.
time to understand jujitsu.
Exactly. And like we were saying, like there's people that, you know, study film religiously and like do all the things maybe that aren't the sweat equity, but they do all the other work that allows them to be a great coach. Like we were using football as an example. So I think if you're doing everything else you can absolutely still be a great coach. But to your point, if you're not doing those things, and you're just literally showing up and teaching stuff that you haven't tried to do in like 5 years, I think you're doing a disservice to the students.
Yeah. And obviously, like if you're going to have someone demonstrate in Osotogari, you're in, let's say you're the coach. They've obviously done the Osotogari well enough for you to have them demonstrate it, right? Because you've watched them, you've fine-tuned it. You've like, okay, this is what needs to be done. But you doing it and you haven't done it, it's like,
Yeah, that's tough.
yeah, right. Like
Yeah.
there needs to be a balance there, and also like a respect factor too, right? Like it's just, it should be an unspoken thing. Like you have to put in the time
Yeah.
because then you become relatable.
Yeah.
And if you can't be a relatable black belt and people don't understand who you are, they don't roll with you, they don't like it, there's something about that energy exchange.
Yeah.
And then people will like you and it'll grow on them. But if you're not doing that and you just demand things, like you think you can just walk around and say, hey, I deserve a black belt because I started training 10 years ago.
Yeah. I going off of this, I have a hot take question for you that I had this conversation with a couple friends. Do you believe in order to get your black belt, you had to have competed before?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. There's some people that, oh man, I do think like everybody should actually compete.
Because, I mean, I'm sure you know as well as me, I know people that are hobbyists and have no interest competing. They've never competed. They don't consider themselves competitive. They consider themselves a hobbyist. They show up 3 days faithfully, and they've never competed, and they've been training for 12 years. Do they never get their black belt?
No, I don't think that is the case, especially if they're paying for a membership. You know, you're paying for something, but if you're an instructor, I really think
That,
like,
okay, yeah.
you know.
That makes a difference if you're instructing. Because it's like
yeah,
they were given their black belt, and they've never technically tested themselves outside of the gym, but they have no interest. Like when we talk about, I'm foreshadowing, but it's true, like with the whole Moneyberg thing, people are up in arms about. It's like, he's a little bit different story because it's such a short period of time, like 3.5 years. But when Ariel Harami interviewed him, he basically said, like, you've never competed, so like you don't deserve your black belt. And he stated that he believes everybody who has a black belt should have competed. And I do disagree there because I think that we have different definitions of black belts. I think like you as a black belt is completely different than a hobbyist black belt who's like 45 and is a dad, right? Who like just enjoys learning. Totally different. So it's like for you, it's important you compete, but for him, like he has nothing to prove.
but I don't know. Like, it's not about like proving something. It's just like testing your skill and just being okay with that fight or flight moment.
Yeah.
Like jiu-jitsu started for like self-defense purposes, right? Can you defend yourself?
Yeah.
Can you protect yourself?
Yeah.
And if you go into competition, yes, if you get tapped, you should know how to tap.
Yes.
You should know how to protect yourself. And I just feel like it's good for everybody, especially if you're going into the gym and you're not like the everyday hobbyist where you're just flowing, having a good time, laughing, you know, getting a good sweat. But if you're a guy that's going into the gym and you're having like crazy exchanges, super scrambly, like back and forth, you're tapping back, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You're just like on another level. Yes, you should compete. You shouldn't care about the outcome though, because it doesn't matter what happens. No one cares if you win or lose. Really, they care if you win a bunch of money.
Yeah. It's true.
Right? There's so many people like, oh, they just won the $1 million, right? But that just only recently just started.
Yeah.
So you got to stop putting so much weight on competition, because if you're scared to compete, just go in there and just like lay down.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, you know, and then you're like, oh, I did it.
Yeah, I do think it's circumstance too, because it's like, you know, I know in my personal life, men, I'm thinking of men specifically, who are like, or actually women too, and they're like, I'm a black belt, but I don't want to compete. I don't want to get hurt. I have a job where I can't afford to get hurt. And we all know you could get hurt at any point in time, but it is more likely at a black belt level, especially as a man, that something could go wrong. And even if you tap,
I know.
you might get hurt. So it's like,
I know.
they don't want to compete. Are they not a black belt? I feel like, no, he is still a black belt. He's just not a competitive black belt.
I know. And I think there's something to be said too. Like a lot of the people that are newer to jiu-jitsu, or they're scared to compete because of they think they'll get hurt. You just have to really know how you can get hurt. And a lot of people get hurt from the stand-up position.
Yeah.
They're always like people just trying to chop at the knees, trying to jump close guard, trying to Tani Otoshi, like all these things from like maybe a real body lock. It's just like, if you know how you can get hurt, why not just pull guard?
Yeah, I was gonna say sit.
Yeah, right.
Sit
Like
your ass down.
let them pass. Okay, what's the worst thing that can happen?
Yeah,
Like,
so you lose. Maybe you lose.
yeah,
At
or
least
you
you're not
like,
hurt.
oh God, you probably got kneed in the face,
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
But yeah, I just feel like I think everybody should do it. Because everybody's scared and we're practicing a martial art.
yeah,
Like we really should know and understand like all of it. Even if it's just one time, just like be like, okay, you have to like kind of test yourself.
Yeah.
It's healthy to do these things for yourself, because we don't have a lot of this. Like men used to go hunt our food and go fight animals, you know, in other tribes. But now we're just all cozy and we're like, I don't know about competing. I'm going to go on my computer and like chill, you know? So,
or talk shit about other people who do it.
yeah, right. And it's so hard for me because it's just, you're right. It's people and their lifestyles. So I think if you want to be a coach, you have to know what it's like to compete.
Yeah,
Because you're teaching other people that potentially want to compete.
right.
Right. But if you're like literally a doctor and you just come here to hang out,
Yeah.
And, you know.
Yeah, it's up to you.
Yeah, right? I
Yeah.
think that's the thing.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's wrap up for now. Anything coming up for you that you want to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, I got a bunch of stuff coming up. I can't disclose it, but I have a
Okay.
huge match coming up on Who's Number One. Super excited about this one.
Okay.
And I'm also fighting at East Coast Trials. I got to talk to Mo. He's sponsoring me.
Very nice.
So nice of him. He's the best. It's just because, like, being a competitor, you're spending all your time training. Mm-hmm. And, like, I'm not making as much money. And so my sponsors, Gold BJJ, my sponsor, Milusos, like, they're literally supporting me.
Yeah.
And that's the only way that I can do what I love and reach other lives. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like my journey right now, it's about to, like, build the jiu-jitsu community, like show what good jiu-jitsu is in the women's world, but it's also to, like, help with the therapy or the emotional side of
Yes.
it, like help people to regulate their emotions.
Absolutely.
You
You're doing
know.
a great job.
Thank you.
I'm excited. I'll be there. I will be at trials. I will be watching you.
Gosh, you should probably do like a vlog
Oh, I should.
and like but you have to like have someone video.
I have somebody. I
You
have
do?
a friend, yeah.
You could totally walk around and
That'd be
like
cool, right?
talk to people and like
Yeah.
but no one's doing that.
Yeah, I thought the only reason I hesitate is because, well, from the athlete standpoint, is like you guys are already stressed out and like gearing up, and I don't like to bother people on like quote unquote game day.
Yeah.
But just talking to like people there watching, like that's different. Like that's fine.
You could
Yeah.
totally do that, but then like I get it like right before.
It could be like a lot.
Yeah,
Because people are different. They're not
well, they
like,
just
relaxed.
need. Well, this is the thing. I won, Gi Worlds at Brown Belt, and then I was talking to everyone. I was like, "Oh my god!" Blah, 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 blah,
Yeah,
staying in my
once you're
gear.
done, yeah.
No, and then I went to the Absolute, and I was so tired because I was literally standing up the whole time talking to people, and then I had to go in Absolute, and I freaking get like swept into oblivion, and then I lost off of points, but. It was like, yeah, there's something to be said. Like, don't talk before you compete.
Yeah.
Just
Zone in.
chill.
Yeah.
Zone in, and then after, be like, yo, how'd you feel today?
That's true. Like after, so that's what I did at ADCC 2 years ago. When it was ADCC and CJI, I went to the after party, and that's where I talked to everybody. I talked to Rafaela, I talked to Tom, and I got a lot of people on the podcast from that, just from talking, because everybody wants to talk once it's all over, you know. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe after trials.
Yeah.
I'll
Or even
stalk
West
everyone.
Coast. Like, maybe you could just check the vibe for East Coast and then go to West Coast and then really dial it in about, like, talking. Because I know there might be some people that want to talk to you before they go up.
yeah,
Maybe they'll be
for
like,
sure.
I'm about to fuck this fucking person up. You know, they might get all up and get you those, like, those highlight reels.
For
Like, you're
sure.
like, he's like, literally looks at you and like, I'm beat this bitch's ass. And then you're like, damn, you did.
Yeah, Jasmine Roche has been doing that. She's been doing some like mat side stuff at the competitions, which is really cool.
You have a great voice and
you.
you have great questions, so that's
Thank
something
you.
you could start doing.
Yeah.
Because like they're doing it in jiu-jitsu, or sorry, in the UFC. Like they have a bunch of girls
yeah.
like creating funny videos,
I
and you
know.
know, but like now you're doing it with jiu-jitsu, and I think this is like the perfect time.
Yeah, you're
so
right.
kind of like venturing out, even, you know, doing like funny skits.
Yeah.
You know how that Nina girl,
I know. I love her.
Yeah.
She's really, and like we're very different because she does, like you said, like very on the spot, right before or right after. Like my vibe obviously is like very relaxed,
Yeah.
cozy,
Yeah.
right. So we're very different in that sense. But like I love her videos. She's freaking hilarious.
Yeah. But there's the thing to be said, because I feel like more people we just need to like raise awareness about jiu-jitsu and like the athletes, because I don't know, it's just, I really love jiu-jitsu in the sense of like it's better for longevity. It creates jobs opportunities. Like some people aren't meant to sit in a freaking classroom.
Yes.
Like for me, that was so hard. My instructors or my professors would be like, do you have ADHD? You keep getting up. Like, do you take medication? I was just like, no, you're so boring. I can't sit here. Like literally, I just had ants in my pants. I was like, I got to get out of here. I got to get out of here. So, I mean, maybe when I'm older, I might want to go back to school, but you know, I feel like I'm not the only one.
Yeah, no, you're definitely not. I appreciate you taking the time. I think people are going to listen to this episode and relate and feel very seen. So I appreciate you.
Yeah. Can't wait for the next one.